You check your phone first thing in the morning, before you speak to anyone, before you even open your eyes fully. The notifications are there, likes, comments, new followers, and for a moment, it feels like something. But then you put the phone down, and the room is quiet, and you are still alone. You have more connections than any human in history could have dreamed of. Your face has been seen by strangers across the world. Your words have touched people you will never meet. And yet, something is missing. You scroll for an hour and feel more hollow than before. You post something beautiful and wait and wait. The validation comes, but it doesn't fill the thing it was supposed to fill. This is the burnout no one talks about. Not the burnout from working too hard, but the burnout from performing too much. The exhaustion of always being visible and never truly being seen. You are tired, not in your body, in your soul. And if you felt this, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are simply a human being living in a world that was never designed for human beings. There is an answer to this. It is ancient, it is quiet, and it has been waiting for you. 2,000 years ago, a man sat alone in a military tent. Outside, battles raged. Empires shifted. Men died for his approval. This man was the most powerful person on earth. He ruled 60 million people. Every eye in the known world was upon him. His name was Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, and one of the loneliest men who ever lived. He did not write for followers. He did not perform for applause. He wrote a private journal, never meant to be published. Words written only for himself, in the dark, in honesty. That journal became one of the most read books in human history. We call it Meditations. Marcus understood something that we are only now beginning to rediscover. That the noise of the world is not connection. That admiration from strangers is not love. That visibility is not meaning. He wrestled with ego, with the temptation of praise, with the hollow weight of public approval. And from that wrestling, he left us 7 teachings. 7 ideas sharp enough to cut through the fog of our modern loneliness. Let us begin. Imagine you are at a dinner party. You are laughing. You are charming. Everyone finds you interesting and warm. You drive home afterward, and you feel depleted, like something was taken from you. This is the cost of performing yourself instead of being yourself. And social media has turned this performance into a full-time occupation. Marcus Aurelius warned about this directly. Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect. That word, self-respect. Not public respect. Not the respect of followers. Self-respect. When we perform online, we are making a trade. We offer a curated version of ourselves in exchange for approval. And every time we do this, we move a little further from who we actually are. The burnout you feel is not from posting too much. It is from the exhausting mathematics of self-management. Calculating what to say, how to say it, what it will look like to others. Marcus called this living outward. Always oriented toward the reactions of others, always building a face for the crowd. Every moment spent managing your image is a moment not spent building your character. Every hour spent crafting the performance is an hour stolen from genuine experience. The loneliness you feel with 5,000 followers is not a paradox. It is a direct consequence. When no one has ever truly met you, how could anyone truly accompany you? Stop performing, even for a moment. Let one person today see something unpolished and true. Notice what happens to loneliness. Notice how even one moment of genuine contact nourishes you more than 1,000 likes. Is this thought mine, or did I simply absorb it from the crowd? Think about the last opinion you shared online. Did it come from deep reflection, or did it come from what you knew would be received well? We are living in an age of borrowed selves. We absorb aesthetics, opinions, ambitions, and identities from our feeds. We try them on. We perform them. We mistake them for ourselves. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. The borrowed self is exhausting to maintain because it is always slightly ill-fitting, always requiring adjustment, always vulnerable to being exposed as not quite real. Sit with yourself without your phone for 30 minutes. No music, no podcast, no stimulation. What thoughts arise? What do you actually care about? What do you want that has nothing to do with being witnessed? The answers to those questions are the beginning of a real self. And only a real self can experience real connection. Only a real self can feel genuinely less alone. Marcus Aurelius was praised by millions. Statues were built in his honor. Poems were written about his wisdom. And he found it almost meaningless. Not because he was ungrateful, but because he had looked closely at what praise actually is. How soon will you be forgotten? How soon will you forget? How soon is all glory extinguished? That is not cynicism. That is clarity. When you receive 100 likes on a post, what exactly has happened? 100 people, for a fraction of a second, pressed a button. They did not think deeply about you. They did not consider your suffering or your beauty or your complexity. They pressed a button and moved on. Yet we organize entire days around producing the thing that earns those buttons. We lose sleep. We feel anxiety. We measure our worth in those fractions of a second. Approval from strangers gives you nothing that lasts. It gives you a brief chemical reward, dopamine, then withdrawal, then craving. This is not connection. This is consumption. When you stop needing validation from 5,000 strangers, you become available for depth with one real person. And depth is where connection actually lives. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. We have been taught to fear our own inner silence. From childhood, we fill every quiet moment. Television, music, social media, podcasts, an endless river of noise to keep the silence at bay. But what are we actually afraid of in the silence? We are afraid of what we might hear. The quiet voice that says, "This life is not really mine." The quiet truth that says, "I am not as happy as I pretend to be." The quiet knowledge that says, "I am lonely not despite my followers, but because of them." Marcus sat with those voices. He did not flee them. He wrote them down. He examined them. He let them teach him. And over time, the inner silence became a companion, not a threat, a sanctuary. Put down your phone for 1 full hour today. Not to be productive, just to be present with yourself. The loneliness you feel is not solved by more connection outward. It is solved by finally making contact with the one person who has always been there, yourself, fully, without the performance. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Other people's opinions only have power if you grant that power. Think about the last time a comment on your post ruined your day. One stranger, 12 words, hours of emotional disruption. Marcus wrestled with this same dynamic on a civilizational scale. Senators conspired against him. Philosophers mocked his policies. Generals questioned his strength. And his response was not anger. It was inquiry. He would ask, does this person's opinion reflect truth? If yes, I should be grateful for the correction. If no, why would I allow a false thing to disturb my peace? We have made ourselves slaves to the algorithm of human judgment. And like all slavery, it is exhausting and dehumanizing. Choose belonging. Pursue depth over breadth. Invest in 3 real people rather than chasing 3,000 strangers. Confine yourself to the present. One of the cruelest things about social media is what it does to presence. You are at dinner with someone you love, and part of your mind is already composing the caption. You are watching a sunset, and instead of feeling it, you are framing it for a photograph. This is how loneliness grows inside full rooms. You are surrounded by people, but you are not there with them. Not really. And they feel it, and you feel them feeling it, and the distance widens. This is the deepest form of respect you can offer another person. Not a like, not a comment. Your full, undivided, phone-down presence. Try it once this week. 1 meal with no phones on the table. 1 walk with no earbuds in. 1 conversation where you are completely, entirely there. Notice how different this is from 1,000 digital interactions. This is what connection actually tastes like. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The outside events in our world include follower counts, engagement rates, viral moments, public opinion. All of these are outside your control. Every single one. And when we build our sense of self around them, we build on sand. The tide comes in and it is gone. Virtue, for Marcus, meant living in accordance with your deepest nature. Being honest when honesty is hard. Being kind when kindness is not rewarded. Being present when distraction is everywhere. This is the ultimate antidote to digital loneliness. Not better content strategy. Not a new platform. Not more followers. But a return. A deep, courageous return to the things that actually build a human being. Character, presence, integrity, genuine love for the people in front of you. Was I honest today? Was I present? Did I treat one person with genuine care and attention? If the answer is yes, you had a good day, regardless of what the numbers say, regardless of what the algorithm decided. The loneliness you feel with 5,000 followers is a signal, not a failure, a signal. It is your deepest self telling you, this is not enough. Not because you are asking for too much, but because you have been asking in the wrong place. Stop performing, start being. Find your own thoughts, reclaim your own values, release the crowd's verdict from your heart. Make peace with silence. Return your full attention to the people in front of you. Build your life on what you can actually control. You are not lonely because you are unloved. You are lonely because part of you has never been introduced. Introduce yourself to yourself first. Everything else follows from there. If something in this video touched you tonight, if you recognize yourself in these words, then subscribe to this channel. Not for motivational fluff, not for quick fixes or empty affirmation, but for real psychological tools. Ancient wisdom sharpened for modern lives. Ideas that have outlasted empires. Until next time, go inward.